If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Your support helps us share more amazing stories. Most life-changing moments don't begin with chaos. They don't start with screaming matches, shattered glass, or dramatic revelations. There isn't always a secret waiting in the shadows, ready to explode. Sometimes a story begins with something so ordinary, you almost ignore it. A simple knock on a door. And yet, that quiet knock forced me to question everything I believed about love, loyalty, and the slow, dangerous ache of loneliness. So get comfortable. Because this isn't really a story about a movie night. It's about how one tiny decision, a decision so small it feels harmless, can quietly redirect an entire life, while you still believe nothing has changed. I never imagined an ordinary evening could carry weight. There was no warning, no sudden dread in my chest, no strange feeling that something was about to shift beneath my feet. The world didn't pause for me. Cars still passed outside. The refrigerator hummed. The clock ticked with its usual indifference. Nothing dramatic happened. Nothing broke. Nothing screamed. The danger didn't crash through the window. It arrived gently and settled inside my heart before I even noticed it was there. My husband was away again that night. Work trips had become a routine in our marriage. Airports blending together, hotel rooms that all smelled the same, cities that never really felt like they belonged to him. Or to us. In the beginning, I used to beg him not to go. I would stand by the door holding on to his sleeve just a second longer than necessary. Not enough to stop him, but enough to say I wish you'd stay. I'd joke about it sometimes. Pretend I was being dramatic. But I wasn't joking when I told him the house felt different after he left. Too quiet. Too large. Empty in a way that silence alone couldn't explain. He always promised the same thing. Just a few more trips. Just until things settle. It won't always be like this. Eventually, I stopped asking. Not because it hurt less. Because pretending I was okay became easier than admitting I wasn't. That evening unfolded like so many others. I made dinner for one. The food filled my stomach, but not my appetite. I chewed without tasting. A glass of wine sat beside me. More habit than enjoyment. The television played something in the background I couldn't have described even while watching it. I didn't want entertainment. I wanted noise. Silence in an empty house has a way of becoming loud. 5 minutes later my phone buzzed. A message from my husband. I'll call you later. Later usually meant tomorrow. I stared at the screen for a moment, then locked it. I told myself it was enough. It had to be enough. I stood at the sink rinsing my glass, watching red swirl away down the drain. That's when I heard it. A knock. Not loud. Not urgent. Just patient. I froze. No one ever visited that late. For a moment, I didn't move. I assumed it was a mistake, someone at the wrong door. Then it came again. Soft. Steady. Polite. And somehow that made me more curious than cautious. When I opened the door, Daniel stood there. My neighbor. Early 30s. Quiet. Always courteous in the way strangers remain courteous when they never expect to know each other. We had shared smiles near the mailbox. Small talk in passing hallways. Nothing personal. Nothing memorable. And yet there he was, holding 2 DVDs in one hand and a bowl of freshly made popcorn in the other, steam still rising into the cold night air. His smile looked unsure, like he was already preparing for rejection. Movie night, he said softly. I made too much popcorn. I knew the correct response. A polite laugh. A quick thank you. A closed door. That's what a good wife would have done. But loneliness changes time. It stretches seconds. Makes hesitation feel harmless. Makes bad decisions look innocent. And I hesitated just long enough. Then stepped aside. He walked in comfortably. Not awkward. Not intrusive. Comfortable. That unsettled me more than if he had been nervous. He placed the popcorn on the table, set the movies down, and sat on the couch like he'd done it before, though he hadn't. The warm butter smell filled the room. It mixed with a faint scent of his cologne. Unfamiliar, yet strangely comforting in a way I didn't want to think about too carefully. We picked a movie. At least, I think we did. The screen lit up, but neither of us watched. We talked. about work, about random memories, about nothing important, and somehow about everything important. Daniel listened differently, not waiting for his turn to speak, not distracted, present, truly present. I didn't realize how long it had been since someone listened to me like that, not as a responsibility, but as if my thoughts actually mattered. I caught myself sharing things I hadn't said out loud in months. Not complaints, just truths. The quiet kind you don't know you've been carrying until someone gives you permission to put them down. At some point his arm rested along the back of the couch. Casual. Unintentional. Our shoulders brushed once. Then again. I told myself it meant nothing. But the air in the room shifted. Warmer. Smaller. His knee touched mine briefly, then didn't move away right away. I shifted slightly. He shifted too. And without either of us acknowledging it, the distance disappeared. Our hands reached the popcorn bowl at the same time. Neither of us pulled back immediately. That moment lasted longer than it should have. Long enough for my heartbeat to change rhythm. Long enough for awareness to replace innocence. I looked at him. He wasn't watching the movie. He was watching me. Not politely. Not casually. Honestly. Unfiltered. My stomach tightened. I turned away, but I could still feel his attention. My phone vibrated on the table. His name lit the screen. My husband. I didn't reach for it. And that choice alone should have told me how far I had already gone. Daniel's fingers brushed mine again. This time, I didn't move. You're quiet, he said gently. Do you want me to leave? That was my exit. My last clean escape. One word could have ended everything. But I said nothing. And that night, I learned something terrifying. Silence can be louder than confession.